Hello and welcome back to the Radio Gamescast. As always, I'm your host Ryan. Today I'm joined by my full lovely cohort of co-hosts, both Alexes.
Oh.
Hello.
Alex W, you're very quiet. Brett.
Okay.
Hello.
And Wyatt.
Hello.
Today,
What's going on?
we're here to celebrate a year of great video games. And also some insane happenings in our yearly fantasy league. You might notice this is happening much earlier in the year than it did last time. That's because this year, a bunch of stuff slipped into January and February this year from last year. So we got to start early to include some very high-profile games that I don't want to talk about in case someone else doesn't know about them and misses them in the draft.
It's a very front-loaded year.
Very front-loaded year. But first, we need to pay for the sins of last year, because, oh boy, was it an interesting league. So Alex W. did not participate in this one. He was not in this one at the time, but the rest of us did. First of all, I'll say what I did, which was I had won the previous 2 years.
Don't participate.
It's true.
I won the previous 2 years, and so threw in the towel fully this year, and counterpicked Tears of the Kingdom, as well as picking Gollum. To really make sure that I wasn't going to get in first, and it worked.
Which even
It worked
that
it didn't get you into first.
Yeah, so let's talk about who was below me, Alex.
Let's talk about that.
Let's just take a brief moment to talk about what happened to your games list here, because unfortunately things did not go quite so well for you.
Are we at the table for the autopsy?
Yeah, we're at
that
the
what
table
it
for the
was?
autopsy.
This is the postmortem.
And to be fair, I think we can say a lot of things about Alex's picks, but he didn't have many leftover spots. And I'll note the reason that two people here have leftover spots is we had a rule for this one where if you knew a game was not going to release, so this is a rule we're going to carry into next year too. If a game has been confirmed to not release, you can drop it with no consequence. So that's often why there are empty spots here. So yeah, Alex just ended up with a lot of games that didn't come out this year, and also got counterpicked as a fair number of them. So things like Avowed and Dark and Darker were locked in as just not releasing this year because they got counterpicked, and then Alex had to sit there with 0 points. And I'm sure Dark and Darker and Avowed would probably both score very well had they come out. I have no information on either of these games, but I imagine that they would, just on hype factor alone. But they didn't come out.
I'm feeling good about them when they do.
And a number of
In the
games
next
I think
5
you were
years.
expecting to score highly didn't come. Of like Space Marine 2, I think we all had a shoe in as being at least like an 80 or something, and it didn't come out. Oxenfree 2 scored lower than I think Alex expected it to.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the
A
Final
little bit.
Fantasy VII Rebirth and Like a Dragon Ishin scored lower, but Rebirth isn't out yet. And yeah, you just had a rough year with games not coming out and things scoring lower than they should have, and you counterpicked Lies of P.
I feel like
So
I'm on
funny.
record of saying this before, but I'll say it again because at this point I feel like it's my catchphrase. When I am wrong, things are good. I am happy when I am wrong. And
It's really
oh my
funny
God.
because especially how much you enjoy Lies of P.
Lies
I
of
know.
P is a phenomenal game, and it is what got me into being able to enjoy Souls-likes more. I'm currently at the final boss of my first New Game Plus run of Lies of P.
Yeah, so you're pretty deep in there. But yeah.
After how long was I denying that I was a Souls-like fan while playing it?
So long. I think up until like you were denying it until like the last third of Lies of P, and we're like, it's just this game.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
so one of the like final 3 bosses, normal sized human, with the big sword that you fight on the bridge. Trying not to spoil it too much. I was just fighting like my New Game Plus run. I was having so much trouble with them on my first run through. My New Game Plus run, I'm just like, okay, I've been wiping through a lot of bosses. I'm gonna nerf myself a little bit, and I just want to practice on you. I want to feel the rush of parrying each of your attacks, and if I get too close to killing you, I'm gonna off myself so I can do it again.
Alex, you're doing what I did when I decided
She's
I was
got
going
it.
to fight the Elden Ring early boss that was giving everyone trouble at level 1 and only dealing damage when I parried.
Oh my god!
To be fair, that one my hubris got the better of me. I couldn't do that one.
No, yeah,
that took a good few hours.
But I managed to perfect parry with the weeb weapon in the game, the double dragon sword. It's just a really fun katana where its heavy attack is a rhythm game that enables you to perfect parry. And I perfect parried about 90% of her.
So would you say that you perfect parried yourself by counterpicking Liza P?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, that's Alex's score.
Any chance I can get to talk about Liza P, I will now.
With 137 points. 137.4 because the decimal place does matter this time.
This year, absolutely.
Have we figured out where the heck those come from? Because I don't understand.
There is like a full breakdown of how things are scored.
Yeah, it's part of averaging, but it's not the actual real average. The website definitely has part of its own calculation because I did some of my own math earlier in the year, right before things ended, and things were pretty far off, and I was like, okay, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's up in the air. Who cares? It's pretty stupid.
All right. And I think the discrepancy you're seeing there, Brett, is that if a game scores over 90, you get 2 points per point.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Wait, 2 points per point over 90.
Because the critic score is directly from OpenCritic, but it's to the decimal point. So it is accurate like to a decimal point. So basically, like if a game scored an 87, you're going to get X amount of points. But then when they average everything, it's scored 2 decimal points. Funkily enough. All right, let's go over my picks because I was next in the roster of failure.
I want to point out something real quick.
Yeah.
If you hadn't counterpicked Zelda, you would have been tied for first.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And actually tied for first too, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
That's a huge hit.
Imagine if I hadn't picked Gollum.
Absolutely insane. You just win again. And I'm assuming, are you? What are your feelings? If it's not too early to ask, are you think you're gonna throw again this year? Or are you? You shooting?
I'm not gonna play my hand quite yet.
Oh no,
that's not gonna happen.
Oh god.
It's okay, because I already know I'm gonna pick some games here that aren't gonna score well because.
Welcome to the club.
There you go.
Just because.
Yeah, I mean, there's some games that I want to do well that I know are going to be bad, and I'm going to pick them because I want to be wrong.
Listen, sometimes it's okay to pick
Alex,
games based on your heart and not your mind.
Very early on, you're very on
Alex.
theme for what we're going to do. So I'll talk about that when we get to the actual second section of this, of starting the new league and not going over the last one. But yeah, for games that I picked, I mostly picked stuff that I just wanted to take away from other people. Even if I didn't think it was going to do well. So I took things like AW Fight Forever, which I figured Brett would have taken otherwise.
Oh, thank goodness.
And then also took a bunch of meme stuff like Crime Boss, Rocket City,
Yeah.
Gollum, and counterpicked Tears of the Kingdom. But then, to be fair, after the initial draft, I started taking things a little bit more seriously just to see how close I could get. So I ended up picking a lot of things that scored very well, with Dead Space Remake, Alan Wake 2, Street Fighter, Forza, like just a series of things that scored really, really highly. And Super Mario Bros. Wonder was an easy grab in the second half of the year because nobody was paying attention to the bids. And yeah, it was a good all-around thing. I feel like I put up a good fight for having thrown in the towel very early.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
But that's how I did. All right. Well, technically speaking, and the list here, Wyatt is next, but this is where we have to give the disclaimer. We're treating this as a tie because they are literally
look how close it is.
They're within a decimal point. It's truly, if we don't count this as a tie, what is the point of?
I want to make it very clear. I do technically have less points. The whole tie concept was not my idea.
No, yeah.
I'm not trying
And
to
I do-
cheat my way out of a loss here.
And I do want to make it clear that I do technically have more points.
Yeah, let's make that very clear.
You're not trying to chip your way out of a win.
Brett technically has
No,
0.9
of course.
more points.
Yes, you may notice when we
0.09
tab over
more
to the
points,
next
sorry.
year that I do have the little crown next to my name. So
Yeah.
you don't
So
get
you
you don't
are-
get that for nothing.
You are technically the winner.
He's a giant rat that makes all of the rules.
But I was like, if you're within a point of each other, we can count it as a tie. You were within a decimal point. And, like at that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
So wild.
truly what
But-
matters. So Wyatt, your pick was next. Why don't you go over your games?
Yeah, the biggest things here that I feel like kind of held me back points wise was two things. One, some games just not scoring quite as high as I would have expected. Not scoring terribly, but not quite as high. So, perfect example. First of all, let's get this out of the way. Bolt Gun getting a 76 is a crime. That
Criminal,
game,
absolutely.
Vulcan got
that
snubbed.
game is so good, and I don't know what insane moron thought it should be somewhere in the 70s, but you're a moron. I also thought the last case of Benedict Fox was going to score a lot better than it did.
To be fair, I'll take the blame for that one, Wyatt, because I was hyping you up on that game. I was like, that game looks amazing.
I thought
I
it
really
looked
wish it
I
was.
remember seeing it while it was happening and then watching the trailer and being like, I don't know about this one.
I really like
it.
Anyone have any thoughts on if we're going to hear anything about Harold Halibut this year?
I sure hope so.
I sure hope so, Alex. That was so out of left field. What was going on?
I have a pack of peas strapped to my forehead since we aren't doing visuals.
Perfectly
And-
unhinged.
And same thing with like The Expanse, the Telltale series, Endless Dungeon, Shrine Five.
Yeah.
Games that didn't score poorly, but I was expecting slightly better.
And, to
based
be fair,
on the
Jedi
pedigree
Survivor
of the
probably
studio.
would have scored a fair bit higher had it not had huge technical issues too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same with
Like that-
same with. Apparently, Total War Pharaoh was doomed to start, and I didn't know that. I just thought, oh, Total War games are good. It'll probably be fine.
To be fair, Total War Pharaoh has been pretty decently received now, but it's one of the only games that I've seen release and then do a price reduction immediately.
Oh,
They were like, they released it
There you
at full
go.
price, and it realized it was basically the scale of a Saga game, which is Total War's like mini series, basically.
Well, there you go.
So they
I
had to
do
reduce
have
the price to Saga price.
basically Tears of the Kingdom is carrying my entire score, 110%.
Which I wonder, Wyatt, if I hadn't picked Spider-Man 2 specifically to keep you from picking it, what a difference that might have made.
because you know I was
Probably
going.
would have done it.
You beat me
Probably
to
would
it,
have done
but you
it.
know I was going to. I mean, there's a couple other good ones here too. Like Pikmin 4 scored pretty well. Jedi Survivor, despite its launch state, scored pretty well. Dredge scored pretty well. And then there's a couple of games that I really regret putting on here. I'm looking at one specifically. Good old Redfall. Listen. A vampire like co-op thing from Arcane sounds
But it
great.
looked like shit from the start.
I disagree. I liked the style. I liked the look of the vampires. I liked a lot of the abilities I was seeing. Maybe in hindsight, if I look back, yeah, maybe the issues will be kind of obvious. I liked what I was.
Wyatt, you can try again with another arcane vampire game.
Yeah, I mean, you could roll the dice on that one.
No, you know what? I think I'm good.
Though I think they have said that's a 2025 game, so we'll probably
yeah.
we'll probably be able to wait and see on that maybe next year.
I will say the other big thing that got me was that I counterpicked games that didn't come out, which screws you guys over definitely, but doesn't actually give me that many points. I counterpicked Gollum, which was like the most obvious counterpick,
Smart.
and I was like shocked that no one else did it.
I took
But-
too long. I went to go do it, and then I saw you already done. I was like, fuck.
But yeah, like my counterpicks didn't actually get me any points. They screwed you
Yeah, I
guys
mean,
over,
the
but
main
they
point of
didn't-
counterpicks is not actually to get points, because if everyone's playing well, none of them probably will give you points. It's to lose the least.
Mhm.
And basically, like,
'cause
predict
otherwise
what
it's
isn't going to come out.
-15.
Notably, because we also did play with the rule that if a game is counterpicked, you can't drop it, no matter what.
Yeah.
So
I
you're
will
basically
say-
locking someone's slot in.
The last thing I'll say about this list here is just the finals made for such an exciting, ironically, made for a very exciting finale to
Yeah.
to the
Truly
the
bizarre that
Critic.
the linchpin of this league was a game called The Finals.
Because
Mhm.
it
really?
Shadow dropped at the Game Awards. I had picked this a while ago without even knowing if it was actually going to come out this year. I just was really impressed by what I saw very early on. And then it shadow dropped at the Game Awards, and it didn't get reviews for a while because it was shadow dropped. And then it like was an 80 for a while. It kind of dropped down to a 70 for a little bit, and then crawled its way back up to an 81. Brett and I were like refreshing the Open Critic
Yeah,
page,
literally.
like every other day, just checking in on it. So that was a lot of fun to watch. The rest of it, you know what? For my first year actually trying, I think I did pretty well.
It's not bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brett, take your victory.
Yeah, I mean it's and as we discussed, it was not a very far away victory. This was my usual and to be continued strategy as much as I can continue doing it, depending on what random shit we come up with this year. It's just a shotgun spread of random garbage. I'm gonna call out Peppa Pig World Adventures. How do you give a Peppa Pig game a 69? What is wrong with you? Those people who playing it are like
Morning reviewer.
5 years old. They don't know.
What's funny,
what
Brett, is if you had picked any other game there, you probably would have won.
I know. If I had not picked it, and if I had an empty slot, I would have won.
You would have actually won.
Yeah.
Not to say that that's a bad pick. I fully encourage that type of stupidity on this show.
Oh, of course, because otherwise
Honestly,
it wouldn't
I'm
be.
surprised you picked it and not Ryan.
We are here for
I didn't know it was
entertainment.
coming out. I didn't have that on any list.
I had my eyes on Peppa Pig from the start, and she let me down.
And you know what? You know what's great too is that the
Turn her
year
into
started
bacon.
off for you not very good. You were actually like in the lower rungs for a little while because a lot of your
Yeah, it was a
early
slow
picks
start.
were not great, and then the survival horror stuff started coming out, and then that just you were
Yeah.
gone after that.
Survival horror stuff came out. Final Fantasy, Armored Core, Lies of P in a pretty relatively quick succession of each other. Yeah. My Golem equivalent, the counter pick was immediately counter picking Rocket City the second that Ryan put it on his thing, because I was like, okay, there's just no way, right? Like nobody could possibly think that this was going to be good, right? I want to find I want to see if there's because there's the subreddit for Redfall is just at least for a while it was just full of just copium of people being like, well, they're going to update it and fix it, right?
No.
And I want to see if there's a community for Crime Boss Rocket City just to read some of that, because
I do have a
it's
question.
hilarious.
Did you
Yeah.
expect Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora to take points away from you, even if it was just a single point?
I was expecting to probably end up with a 0 anyway, but I was pretty late with the counter picks, and I was like, well, I just gotta not have a million points taken away, right?
That was definitely
Dark
me
and
for
Darker
my
was
other two.
Yeah, I figured Dark and Darker was a good bet because there with the legal trouble and stuff, there's no way that game was going to be coming out anytime soon, I figured. And it's an Ubisoft game, right? So, and it scored like an Ubisoft game. So, I mean, yeah, my hubris of Wanted Dead looking like schlock, unfortunately actually being schlock, was probably the thing that screwed me up the most. But I'm looking for this year to be exactly like this one, where I will have learnned nothing. But it will be funny. It will be funny.
Do you have a game that you were most upset didn't come out this year from your picks?
I mean, the only one that I picked that didn't come out was Arc Raiders, and I don't give a shit about that.
Wait, what? Oh wow.
Which, funny enough, I will point out the developers of Arc Raiders, same developers as the Finals.
As the Finals, yeah.
Oh.
X Dice, all the good people from Dice.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 2023. What a wacky
year.
tie.
What a year.
All right. Well, now that we've gone over the winners and losers, we have to go over the consequences.
Oh,
We like to
boy.
have some fun consequences at the end here. And this year, hey, last 2 years I got to pick them. It was fun. Now it's time to pass the torch not only to Brett, but also to Wyatt, because we're counting this as a tie. So instead, we're just doing 2 challenges. They're each going to get to pick them.
Gonna be busy
So
years.
you all, let's go ahead and start with Alex, because he's at the bottom. Actually, let's start with Alex W, because this is his introduction.
Woo!
Give him some easy ones, something that's not too hard.
Mine, I'll be honest though, Brett has to go first, Ryan, with how my punishment is set up.
Okay.
Well, I will say.
Okay.
Let's say we'll welcome Alex in at the end. Then he'll be the capstone to the next one. And let's go ahead and start with the other Alex, who was the actual loser. So,
Oh, here we go.
Do you want to start, Brett?
Sure. So now I hope if you're not okay with parting with $1.99, Alex, I'm sure we can work something out. But your punishment is to deal with your favorite genre of game, which is first-person multiplayer shooter game, and you are going to be playing an episode's worth of a little game known as Ape War on Steam.
Ape War?
Now I want you to imagine Call of Duty by way of Roblox, but you play as monkeys. And I have 2.6 hours in this game to fully express the fact that it is stupid, it is hilarious, and you might have fun. But the point is that all of us by proxy will be having probably more fun watching you.
Oh, no.
Somehow I looked this up, and 3 of my Steam friends already own this game.
Oh, my
That's
God.
incredible.
What?
Yup, that sounds about right.
Ape War.
absolutely insane. Ugh. All right, Wyatt.
All right. Well, so fun fact: Ape War was actually my pick for Alex as well.
Oh, I thought you
This-
had something else.
This looks insane.
I think there was some sort of miscommunication. I'm sorry.
Why
don't
are their
worry.
asses so jiggly?
But you know what? It's okay because I have a backup just in case.
Okay.
This is one I was sitting on very early. My pick for Alex is Bad Rats: The Rat's Revenge.
Yes.
We
Yes.
had to get some Bad
Yes.
Rats representation in this house.
Yes. Yes.
I
This is gonna be a good year.
What the
I can
hell is
feel
going
it.
on?
Wait, there's a sequel to Bad Rats.
I'm picking the original. I don't know a thing about Bad Rats show. I'm just picking the original, the classic,
All reliable.
all reliable Bad Rats.
Absolutely.
What?
We got ourselves a
This
little
looks like a mobile. Wait, this isn't a mobile game. What?
So I'll give you a little bit of history here. Unless Wyatt, you want to do it, being that this is your challenge, you want to give Alex the rundown on what Bad Rats is.
Yeah, well, I didn't know there was history to it, but essentially, it's a legendarily bad Steam game. It's one of those cheap bad Steam games that has very positive reviews because everyone's just giving it like the most
The
ironic
meme review.
Steam review ever. Yeah. You got yourself a bit of a physics puzzle game.
Why? I love this kind of game.
And the
Oh,
actual the like history I was talking about with this Wyatt is that this was commonly a game in many a multiplayer scenario. If you had a really burning sense of hatred for someone after a match, you would gift them Bad Rats.
Yeah.
That was the early like Team Fortress 2 era etiquette.
and listen, it's totally possible that Alex will play this and have fun with the physics puzzle aspect of it. I don't think he'll have fun with the art style as an
Oh
artist.
no,
I think
my eyes are burning.
I think that will insult him more than the actual game, and really, that my job is still done at that point. My job is still complete.
Both of these games feel like fever dreams.
That's I think the point.
Oh my
And
God.
speaking of the point, give it to me, boys.
Go ahead, Brett.
Okay, well, I hope there wasn't miscommunication with this one too, because we had our discussion leading up to this was mostly that this isn't going to be so difficult for everyone else, but it's going to be very difficult to pick a game that Ryan is going to genuinely feel a little bit upset while playing. You have a high tolerance for jank. You have a wide variety of things that you enjoy. And so you're going to be enjoying an episode worth of the beginning of Final Fantasy 13-2, which you already own. I don't even have to get that for you. You already have it.
Brett,
And
I
now
have the whole
you get to
13
play.
trilogy.
Yeah, you get to play the first hour and a half and change of 13-2.
Brett,
which,
I want you to know that not only have you just issued me a punishment to play part of 13-2, which I will have you know, I have played. I don't know if I've played 13-2 or Lightning Returns. I've played part of one of them. But I have been, because you have told me that Lightning and Final Fantasy 13 is not a Final Fantasy that you have actively disliked.
No, I like that game a lot.
Has convinced me that I need to give it another shot, which is why I own all 3 games. So you now have not only issued me a challenge to play the first hour of 13-2, but to finish 13 before I do so.
Buddy, this is going to be great. This is going to be fantastic.
And more hours of his life are sucked away.
Yippee!
Fading into the ether. I'm a voracious completionist.
To a fault. Okay, so my next little swath of games I have here. There is a growing list on Steam of bad Souls-likes. And because we have a bunch of Souls-likes fans here, I have a list that I would love you guys to get through here. Ryan, I depart unto you, Gangsta Woman.
Gangsta Woman.
Wyatt, I will have you know, this is the one that I couldn't find when you DM'd me that list earlier. I don't know if this game still exists.
No, it's there. It's there. I just found it.
It's there.
Oh, you can't.
You have to spell it Gangsta.
What?
Remember, it's Gangsta Woman, not
Gangster
Gangster
Woman. Default
Woman.
level design.
Yep.
This is what we like to call peak in the industry, I think.
Definitely. Hey, the thumbnail of the video is gonna do great.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
What does this have to do with being a gangsta?
Why?
I guess we'll have to find out. We'll have to
it's
find
by
out.
Gangsta Studios, so I mean that's got to be part of it.
Be a hero woman. Find life elixir and avoid enemies like huge dragon boss and zombie army.
I'll say this: I
Similar-
might enjoy an hour of 13-2. I don't know what I'll experience playing Gangsta Woman.
No.
Hey, are any of you guys watching the first video trailer they have up here?
Yeah, it's,
I went through it. I'm on the
where
second
there's
one.
severe performance issues in the video.
in the trailer, yeah.
You can also
I love
see
when that happens.
the fraps right at the top there.
Oh my god, the diamond fade out.
So on that note, hi Brett, how's it going?
Hello. Hi.
Of my list here, because like I said, I have a list of bad Souls likes. I'm gonna give you a choice. I'm not gonna say what the name of the game is, but I've picked 2 of the 7 deadly sins, and you have to pick which one you're gonna be stuck with here. It is between gluttony and sloth. You have to pick one.
This is exciting.
I think I'm gonna go with sloth.
All right. Your game is Dark Saucy? SASI?
Yes! 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 Finally! An excuse to play Dark Saucy!
Wyatt, I think this
You
might
have no
backfired on you.
idea. This game is legendary. This game is legendary. Thank you. Genuinely thank you for this.
Is it too late to pick the other one? Can I just force him to play the other one?
No. I mean, if you're not going to use it on anybody, you can say what it is.
Well, we haven't picked Alex W yet.
True.
My last one, I guess I don't know. Actually, wait. You're
Yeah, Brett, you've got to give Wyatt
I
a
do.
challenge.
I get to. So, funnily enough, Wyatt, yours involves a choice that's out of your control as well.
okay.
It's it is they both involve the same game.
Oh, interesting.
It involves the choice involves how it will be played. So I have a coin here. On one side, it's just blank, just unrefined metal, and the other side is an angel. Okay.
Oh my god.
And I want you to pick which side playing the game normally is, and then I will flip it.
I'm gonna say the side with the angel. I guess is playing the game normally.
Playing the game normally. Okay. I'm going to flip it.
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it, I guess.
Oh!
Oh no. Oh no.
Wyatt, you are going to be playing Kingsfield 4, going through OBS to make it upside down.
What?
Oh my god.
That's right. You're going to be playing Kingsfield 4 upside down.
Oh my god, bro. That's
Oh,
diabolical.
Oh no.
What I love is that it probably. Wait, are you gonna? How are we gonna get this so it's upside down for Wyatt while he's playing?
So he's just going to have to look at it through the
I
OBS.
feel as though this is incredibly unfair.
I mean, you can in Windows flip your screen around.
Yeah, we can make
That is true too. That is true too. Well, wait. There are multiple ways.
I should have
we
saved
know how to
Gangster
do
Woman
this.
for Brett.
Perhaps you should have.
I'm noticing the error of my ways.
Even
It's
in a
okay.
friendly competition, he's
I will note, Brett,
diabolical.
the original plan that we had, which I don't think we're going to do anymore because everyone has two. The original plan was we were going to pick one game for Alex and Ryan, and then we were going to both make them play Ark together. Was the original plan?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were still going with, which is why I why I did a port. I didn't realize things had changed.
I see what's going on. Okay.
So you're telling me because of this, I do not have to play Ark Survival Evolved?
No, I'll keep that in the back pocket.
To be fair,
God.
Alex, that would have exploded Alex's computer. That game does not run well on my 3080 Ti.
I also don't have a PC. I have two laptops.
Just duct tape
Perfect.
Well, now you're gonna have to put them together to handle the power of Ape War.
Well,
The
that
absolute
leaves
power of Ape War.
Oh my god.
that leaves Alex W, my final shitty dark Souls like that I have here. You have to play Vicious Gambling Agreement.
I have to play what now?
Vicious Gambling Agreement.
Vicious game.
This is a vicious gambling agreement.
You see why this
Hey, wait a
one
minute.
was,
This
one was
truly
gluttony.
is the worst punishment because this one actually costs $8.99. The rest of them are like 99 cents.
Oh no! Wait, this was on sale. Hold up. No, it's not on sale
It was
anymore.
probably on
I
the
don't care that
summer
much.
sale.
It'll
No,
probably
after
come
it was
up
after
again.
the winter sale. Fuck. Okay,
It'll
well,
come up again in the spring sale. It'll be no
we'll
problem.
see. We'll let it sit for a bit. You know, worst
Wow,
comes to worst, I'm willing to pay $9 to see you suffer because I'm just a good friend like that.
Well, it looks exactly like what if Dark Souls was made by some college students.
Perfect. I
This is gonna be
love
good.
that for you.
I think specifically Dark Souls 2.
Brett, did you already give
Yeah,
Alex your
yeah.
challenge as well?
No, I do.
We gotta do one more.
So we're gonna hop you on the PS2 train as well, Alex.
Awesome.
And we're gonna hook you up with a little game that I would be surprised if everyone here besides Ryan and I can even handle watching being played. You're gonna be playing as much Drakengard as you can handle.
Hell,
hell
yeah.
It
So
might not
again-
be much, but I'm excited to slog through it.
Oh yeah, it's an experience. I'll tell you that much. Wyatt, be happy you're not playing it because I know you would not like it at all.
Which one?
No,
The
I've got something
original?
much worse.
The original Drakengard.
Okay.
I've got something much worse.
No, I think
My-
the Dragon Guard would have been worse.
I think
For you.
Drakengard would have broken you.
I think it would have
My-
broken you.
What I'm hoping for now is that technologically speaking, we can't get any of this working, and I just have to play Kingsfield normally. That's what I'm hoping for.
But you see, I've already tried my method and it works.
Fuck.
So that
Damn it.
that depends on what OBS decides to do. I made sure it worked before because I wasn't gonna. What do you think I would go through all this trouble to think of something and then we get to it like 6 months from now and it doesn't work? Come on.
What are you, me?
Come on.
Bum, bum, bum,
All right. Well, everybody has their penance now.
Yeah, everybody has their penance, and that's where we're gonna cut it for this one because
I need to
oh
escape
boy.
the ape.
We can all sit here and stew in the knowledge of what we have to do. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're happy with what you've inflicted on the rest of us.
I hope you're
I
happy.
am.
And I
I
hope you
very
know
much am.
that Jafar is rising. He will have his revenge.
Euphemism for something.
Alright.